There's a Canadian tag going around these days, or this weekend, and the weekend's almost over, it being like 10:51 p.m. on Sunday. And of course, where I am, it's the end. Some of you guys are already off the weekend. You're already in Monday, but I'm not. So anyway, yeah, I thought I'd do this Canadian tag because it's going around, and yeah, I'm Canadian. Sure, let's do it. Um, I would have got to this sooner, but I was at the Victoria Whiskey Festival, um, getting drunk Saturday night.
Boy, was he.
Mm. Yeah, I was. So I got to celebrate, got to do this with Canadian whiskey, first thing. If there's a little bit left in here, that's a good thing. Ooh, that's the last of it.
I'll have that bottle.
That's the last of it. And Cindy wants the bottle because she thinks it's cool. This is my my whiskey festival glass. I don't know if you can read that, or maybe you can. Anyway, it says Whiskey Festival on it. And I got two of them because when I was about to leave, somebody went and put one of these on the table right in front of where I was sitting and walked away. So I've got two of them. Just the other one's dirty. Right. Already almost 2 minutes into this video, and I haven't done a damn thing about what it is about, which is the tag. Now let me get back to where the tag is. Ta-da! There it is. The question is, where are you from, Province City? I'm from Montreal, Quebec originally, and I moved to Victoria, British Columbia back in 1992. What iconic Canadian imagery can be found near you? Mountains, prairies, Great Lakes. Well, what we got here is ocean. We got a lot of ocean, and we've got a lot of coastline. And yeah, we got some mountains, but they're more hills than really mountains. But I would say, you know, beaches, ocean.
Butchart Gardens.
Oh, Butchart Gardens? I suppose you could. What you doing? Oh, you're washing up the table. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that's what we got. Mostly coastline and beaches and that, and whale watching and things like that. What are your least favorite Canadian stereotypes? Example, hosers and poutine. I pronounce it correctly, by the way. Beaver tails and polar bears. I would have to say Canadian Mounties in uniform. Anytime they try to picture Canadians, they show Mounties. I'm reminded of Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties, and Inspector Fenwick and Nell. Rocky and Bullwinkle, my goodness. Yeah, that would have to be among the worst. Canadian landmarks you visited. For example, soared along the Trans-Canada Highway, yes, several times.
Moose and Moose Jaw.
Moose and Moose Jaw? Yeah, we've seen the Moose and Moose Jaw. We haven't really scaled the Rocky Mountains, but we've driven through them, and we've gone through some mountain passes. I've been to the glaciers up in Jasper. I've been up to the Yukon. I've been to Kluane Lake. I have been to Inuvik on the very north. I have been to Labrador. I have worked in northern Quebec a lot. I've been on the Cabot Trail on Cape Breton Island. I've been pretty much everywhere there is to be in Canada and have seen a lot of the things. I've been up to the CN Tower in Toronto. I've done most of it. The only thing I have never done is gone to the Rock. I have not been to Newfoundland on the Rock, but I've been to Labrador, which is pretty close. And yes, I've driven it east, west, north, south. I've flown over it. I've traveled it, most of it, and even had the good fortune to work up in the north of Quebec for a couple of years. Landmarks. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Bernie mentioned Percé Rock, and yeah, we've even seen the great big goose at Wawa. Yeah, we've seen that. So, favorite Canadian author? I mentioned that in a comment to Dave, and that was what was his name? That author, Robert J. Sawyer. See, I do remember. Favorite Canadian actors, musicians, and performers? Well, obviously there is William Shatner. Yes, there is. Also, a fellow Montrealer. Um, there's guys like Donald Sutherland. There's, you know, any other good Canadian actors or actresses?
Celine Dion.
Celine. I knew you'd say Celine Dion. A lot of bands. There's Neil Young. You know, he's one of the statesmen of Canadian.
Randy Bachman.
Randy Bachman. Yeah, I think that Dave mentioned that one too. Who else is there? I'm not that up on all the big stars, and I don't know all of them, but there are a lot of good ones. And there's a lot of people who are Canadian who you don't think are Canadian because they're based in the States, but they're really Canadian. Guys like Michael J. Fox. Does he count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
Canadian.
Yeah, he's Canadian. Favorite Canadian book? Biography of Canadian, written by Canadian, about Canadian history. Oh my goodness. There was one that I had. It was written by Farley Mowat, and it was about, it was called West Viking. It was about, you know, Vikings, Norsemen who came from like the old country and went to like Iceland, and you know, Eric the Red and Leif Erikson and Bjarni and all these guys, and Thorfinn, Karl Sefni, and they ended up settling, or they went as far as Newfoundland, and they ended up in L'Anse-aux-Meduses, which is really mispronounced by the Newfies as Lancy Meadows. And that's where they actually had a settlement at one time, but they had a couple of bad winters, so they had to go back to Iceland or Norway or Greenland or wherever they came from. I don't know if I still have that book. I used to have it, but I may have purged it from my book collection last year when there was no room left on the shelves for we don't have a very big place here, as you can probably see.
That's why I have to use my couch for storage all the time.
That's right.
We don't use the couch, so. I know some people think I'm a hoarder, but
it just looks that way. It's like Jessica Rabbit, you know. I'm not. I'm just born this way, or whatever. You know, not born, drawn this way. Weiser's 18 Canadian whiskey, good stuff. Woo! And you know, well, I won't go into it right now. I'm enjoying this a lot. And it's true that a Glencairn glass makes all the difference in enjoyment. What does a Canadian identity mean to you? I don't know. I think we're ripped off in taxes. That's the identity I can think of. I don't know. I think I think people appreciate us and they think we're
friendly.
That's what the world is led to believe about us. I don't know how much true it is because I meet so many people who are not friendly. Just like Moose Jaw is supposed to be the friendly city, but according to Dave, there are a lot of people who are not so friendly. So I don't know. That's another one of those stereotypes I think that we gotta hate, right? I don't know.
Me either.
Are you having fun there?
Fun?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know about that question. I think I've done them all. Yes, I have.
That's it.
And cheers.
Fetwick.
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 Fetwick.